In today's video, I'm going to show you my loot from killing 1,500 Vyrewatch Sentinels in old school RuneScape. Now, I do want to say that this took me quite a bit of time, so if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I was only getting about 70 to 100 kills an hour. It really just depends. Now, I did sit here and AFK a lot of the time, so I wasn't actively, throwing on piety and other things like that. But it still took quite a while to make this video. With that said, though, the reason we did 1,500 kills for Vyrewatch Sentinels is because that is actually when you get a blood shard. Well, that is the drop chance for a blood shard. Not guaranteed that you're going to get a blood shard. But with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the wiki. Now, in this wiki, you can see the only location that these Vyrewatch Sentinels spawn is in Darkmire. So you do have to have the Darkmire storyline basically complete for Sins of Our Father in order to get to Darkmire in general. This is used a lot as a money-making method because you can get 578k an hour. According to the wiki, it could be more, it could be less. We'll take a look at kind of what I got. The only thing it really requires is just high melee stats. It's really good to AFK these just in general. The cool thing about Vyrewatch Sentinels is they actually don't get unaggressive. As long as you're wearing something that is not the noble outfit, they'll just forever just keep attacking you. And there's an altar setup really close. I do have a quick guide on that, so if you're interested, make sure you check that out. So we're going to go ahead right here into the drops. As you can see, the wiki says that the average Vyrewatch Sentinel kill is 7.7k. And it's a little higher if you're on Konar, excluding the blood shard, because the blood shard is an absolutely massive drop. It's 4k per kill, which is still amazing. Now, keep into account that that does include the vampire dust, which is also 1k. So keep that in mind when you're taking a look at how much money you may make from these. So if you kill 100 Vyrewatch Sentinels, it's 100k of that loot is going to be in vampire dust. Now, whether you pick them up or not is totally up to you. As an Iron Man, I pick them up while I'm doing this for Sepulcher, but totally up to you guys if you want to pick that up. Again, a K, the bank is pretty close, so you'll be banking about every 12 to 15 kills. I mean, it does stack up over time. And as you see, the unique right there is 1 in 1,500. Currently, it is at 5.5 mil, which is absolutely phenomenal for a drop. Again, pretty sweet for a method that you can literally just sit here and AFK. And they do have a lot of decent drops. A rune dagger, adamant plate legs, adamant plate body, rune full helm, and rune kite shields. All of these have a pretty great chance at dropping and actually making a lot of money. Now, I will say the rune full helm and the rune kite shield, they're at 1 in 93, so not as good, but they are still big drops with 20k and 32k respectively. Next up, we have the runes and ammunition. They do drop death runes, blood runes, and nature runes at a 1 in 9.3, so also a pretty solid way to stack up runes over time as well. And rune arrows 4 to 10 at 1 in 23. Again, all these things are stackable, so it's super nice. And then there's rune javelins there as well if you want to pick those up. I didn't because I don't really have much use for them on an Iron Man, so I just didn't pick those up. There's also a 1 in 93 chance to roll on the herb drop table, so this will give you all the different herbs, but it is pretty rare. For example, Guam, which is the most common, is a 1 in 372, and dwarf weed is a 1 in 3,968. So you're not going to really be getting a lot of herbs here. It's not really worth bringing an herb sack, especially since the bank is so close. Definitely don't count on getting a lot of herbs. Same thing with the seeds. The seeds are also super rare. The most common is the limpert seed at a 1 in 711. The rarest, if you hit this, that's crazy, is a torsal seed at a 1 in 97k. So again, you don't need a seed box or anything like that, so you can pick them up if you want to, but you're not going to be getting a lot of those drops. So another thing that's kind of interesting is bolt tips. These aren't really dropped by a lot of monsters that I know of, so it was really interesting getting these bolt tip drops. They are pretty rare though, sitting at 1 in 578 for the 3 most common bolt tip drops. And Onyx is a 1 in 1.7k, so it's not really worth it because you can get these pretty easily. Onyx bolt tips you can get from a lot of other monsters in general, so overall you don't expect to be getting a lot of these either. Materials, they do have a bark, regular bark, which is a 1 in 23, same with coal. The cool thing about coal is that it's also noted, which makes it nice along with the U-logs. You're able to get runite bars, U-logs, and a runite ore, all in a 1 in 46.5. Overall, pretty decent for the regular materials. Again, they don't drop a lot, so you're going to be seeing a lot of the same things over and over, which is nice because most of them are noted. They also do drop coins at a 1 in 4 rate. That is 1 in 1,500 quantity. And then of course you have the rare drop table as well. That is a 1 in 93 chance of rolling that. And then you have hard clues as well. If you want to grind out hard clues, they are a 1 in 100 drop chance, and the brimstone keys are 1 in 72. So with all that out of the way, again, if you get the blood shard, you're going to be making bank. If you don't, it is what it is, but they're still worth doing. They're still a solid AFK activity. You can get some passive combat XP, and you can get some decent drops as well if you're kind of like semi paying attention. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the actual drops. As you can see, I got 11.3 mil, killing 1,500 Vyrewatch Sentinels, and of course you can see I did snag a blood shard. So if I did not get the blood shard, this would move this down to about 6 mil or a little bit below. And I did also pick up most of the vampire dust, so that is another 1.46 mil right there as well. So if you take both of those things out, it's really going to lower the value of how much you got, so that'll bring it down to about like 4 mil at this point. But you do get a lot of other drops. They're nice because you can sit there and out them. As you can see in my inventory, I have runes, I have out, I have been here for a while, so I have 1.5 mil in alchables, and I didn't do this all in one trip, so keep that in mind. But you get a bunch of adamant items, and the rune items are great. 1,800 blood runes, 1,400 death runes, 1,300 nature runes are all phenomenal. I did actually hit the bolt tips a couple times, which is kind of cool, and about 500 coal, 168 U's, 343 rune arrows, and you can just see kind of the list goes on. We did also get 3 Renard weeds, which is also interesting. But as you can see, that is basically the list of things we got. Everything else below isn't really too interesting, so I'm not really going to cover it too much. But as you can see, 11.3 mil with that blood shard drop, absolutely phenomenal. It's really nice and chill here because the bank is so close, the altar is so close. They never get unaggressive. It's just really a phenomenal task. So I highly recommend it if you have done Sins of the Father quest and you're able to sit here and AFK and you have decently high combat stats, so you can chill. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Again, if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This video took me quite a while to make AFK wise. Again, I was getting about 70 to 100 kills an hour, so this video took at least 15 hours, but it's probably closer to 20. But with that said, again, leave a comment below if you have any questions and I can answer those. Leave a like for the algorithm, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Turn up the summer vibes. Get off your phone one time, won't you come outside? Cause we all here chilling. Yeah, it's the same old, same old, same. No, we don't play no games. Oh, they wanna talk. Why they gotta hate on me? Damn. But I ain't not tripping. I'm fly as a pigeon. This girl's been eyeing the